What's up, guys? It is Jonathan with One Big Impact. So I just wanted to share a couple travel tips with you guys before heading to Spain during COVID. So recently, about 2 days ago, I showed up to Madrid, and I just wanted to cover a couple things because, to be honest, it was a bit of a nightmare. I couldn't get much information. You can't call the airlines because they're not going to give you a lot of information. They say, well, you can wait for 8 hours. I don't know who's going to wait 8 hours. But I would say the best information that I got that was most up to date was probably going to be the Spanish embassy. Now, I did two things. I had a friend actually send some information to me like through a link, and I read through the website. It's a little bit confusing, but they do have like very regularly updated information. So they'll actually have the date with some asterisks by it, and that's going to be the most updated information. And they did have some old information and some new information, so you're gonna have to spend some time reading it. It's a bit of a pain, but that was probably by far the most beneficial thing that I did. The other thing that I did was call the Spanish consulate in Arizona where I live, and I also called like the one in LA just to get some different aspects of what was going to be good for travel, what wasn't going to be good for travel. So what it boiled down to is the airline absolutely knew shit. They didn't know anything. So when I got to the actual airline, they told me, and this was a specific airline, it doesn't matter which one it was, but when I got there, they said, oh no, you can't travel to Spain. And after reading the website, it said all I needed was this QR code. So basically it's just this little sheet you print out, and it's like a health questionnaire form. You go through the health questionnaire form, and then after that point, you just bring this little barcode like scan thing to the airport with you, and then they scan it and you're good to go. But upon arriving to the actual airport, they told me, no, you can't travel to Spain. They're not accepting travelers. Well, I was like, you need to read that again, because obviously I paid $1,400 for my ticket. That's not going to work. So they actually went back into the system and they go, oh, okay, you can travel. You just need this QR code. Well, when I get to the actual gate, they were asking me for like a COVID vaccine and stuff like that. Although it wasn't required, I would recommend at least getting the COVID vaccine. And I would not play with, just trying to get your test or anything like that, because one person knows one thing, the other person knows something completely different, so it's a little bit difficult. The other thing is, when you do travel, I would say that just be a little bit understanding that basically everybody's on a different level of understanding what is required for COVID, whether it's on the trains or whether it's on the airport, or whether it's passport control or customs or anything like that. Everybody's kind of on edge. The biggest thing is everybody is on a different level as far as travel is concerned and stuff. I would say the single most important thing is just to understand, try to get all your ducks in a row, whether it is, paperwork or anything like that. Don't really play around with, not getting a COVID vaccine because it says that you don't need to get a COVID vaccine. I would say realistically, I don't know what everybody's thoughts are. Some people think, COVID is more prevalent in Spain or anything. I don't think that that's the case at all. I don't see that it's any different than the United States or anywhere else in the world that I've seen. I think they are taking the proper precautions and everything, and just making sure that their country is safe and other people are safe when they travel here. I've seen lots of travelers here, whether it's from America or Germany or Russia, all kinds of different places, and it's actually been really nice. So I would say the biggest advice is go on the embassy. Make sure you're taking time to, give them a call. If you're going to try to call the airlines, don't call the airlines. They don't have the most updated information. But when you do get to the airlines, you want to make sure that you don't show up empty-handed, because even though it wasn't required by the embassy and by Spain, the actual flight still made me have the COVID vaccine. So if you don't want to get something like that, maybe you should wait to travel. I would be careful about purchasing tickets and stuff like that, because even though you purchased a lot of tickets, even though you purchase all those things, you want to make sure that you don't lose all your money, because just because something happens, if it's at fault to you, you may lose all your money. So I hope this information helped you. If you have questions, I'm just starting my trip. I'm about 2 days in. Please feel free to ask. Join us on Facebook. Our group is called World Travelers. Thank you so much for watching, and be stronger than your excuses.